going on, everybody? This is your boy Jamelio7 with Sinister 7 Gaming, and in today's video I want to bring to everybody my Hot Rock Devastator build. For everybody who's been rocking with me since the beginning, y'all know since the beginning of Outrider I've been a Devastator. I mean, I never looked at Trickster, Pyro, Technomaster. No matter how much damage they were doing, I just rolled it out with Devastator. In the past I've brought several different Devastator builds to the channel, but with the new channel revamp, this will be my first Outrider build on the new channel. So without further ado, let's get into it. As far as with the weapons, kind of standard stuff. You have the Mythos, that's the arm and bad boy. I put Noxious Spawns on mine, and it came with Firestone, mostly because how my build works. I'm taking advantage of that damage over time, as well as getting those damage increases for both being toxic and being on fire. And we already know the almond itself, it gives you bleed and increased damage for 3 seconds. So that's a real big one. As far as my secondary, which ends up in most cases being my primary, is the Wicker. The Wicker I roll Mage's Rage on it, critical shots, give you 10% anomaly, and it stacks 4 times. The reason I went with the Wicker because SMGs have the fastest RPM. Also, Ash and Bullets stops them in the tracks, and it roll with Embalmer's Rage. So I can hit a target anywhere, and once they crit for 3 seconds, I'm going to get unlimited crits off. So I get a whole magazine into a target with that. The 3-piece I'm rocking, Seismic Commander. The reason I'm running the Seismic Commander is because that 50% bleed damage. Also, I have Ultimate Impaler, Shredder. And for those of you that don't know anything about Shredder, Shredder is amazing, especially at high level play, because at high level play, the amounts of damage that you're putting out is ridiculous. Also has Tainted Blood. On the chest piece, I'm doing Palisade. I can hit 2 additional targets, so that brings my target for Impale up to 5 targets. Also, I have no resistance against the Fortified, which if you probably looked at other builds, which I'm gonna get into on the back end, I run no resistance for the Fortified to get that 100% resistance piercing based off my armor piercing. So it rolled Bloody Boost, which was pretty much guy roll for how I wanted to run this build. If we look at the Seismic Commander legs, we have Anomaly Power, Status Power Cooldown. I rolled the Euthanize on it to get that 16% damage to toxic targets. It also has Rivers of Blood, which is why, like, skills like this is why I think Impale is so much better than Earthquake. I know a lot of people, like, you could 2-tap bosses and stuff like that with Earthquake, but you could 2-tap bosses with this build too. Like, it's crazy. But it increases the skill damage by 30%. The enemies will bleed. That's crazy. Also, I have Last Grasp on it, which was a guy rule for how I wanted to run this build, because I can pretty much line up any target anywhere on the map and just press my Impale, and spikes everywhere. On the gloves, I just got these. I was looking for these because I needed to have Captain Hunter. I was looking for the Cannonball gloves. They have cooldown reduction on it. Captain Hunter, I rolled Despair on it, but the big thing was I needed to have postpartum on it. I mean, post-mortem, I'm sorry. But with that, enemies killed by this skill generate up to 3 additional spikes, impaling enemies within 5 meters of the kill radius, right? So check this out. You impale 5 enemies, right? But it's a group. You probably seen this in the opening clip. It's a group of enemies. When those 5 get impaled, 3 targets around each one of those spikes get impaled. And that's where it kind of synergizes with Shredder, because those additional targets get double impaled too. And if they get impaled, then they impale something else. Like, so it could be like a domino effect if you time it right and do it right. So that's why I love this build. And on the boots, we did Bannerlord. Bannerlord mostly because it came with sharpened spike on it. Perfect world, I would want a purple glove with anomaly power and cooldown reduction, and any two of these combinations so I can roll a third on. And for the feet, I would want a purple boot with anomaly power and unstoppable force or however, but it would need two of these. So I'm still looking to pour out as much damage as I can, but right now this we good, we golden. On to the skills. Like a lot of the Devastator builds, you're running gravity leap so you can get that double anomaly damage for everything hit. You're doing reflect bullets so you can have control over the damage boost on your build. And me, like I said, I'm running the impale. Select target is interrupted, inflict bleed, do 1,000,000 damage. If the target damage is lethal, enemy will be impaled, granting a powerful bonus to armor and health. Earthquake just says release a shockwave, deal damage, interrupt all targets. Come on, man, it's a no-brainer. Yes, Earthquake is 4.3 seconds, and Impale is 10.4 seconds. But the gratification and all the buffs that you get from Impale, Earthquake to me just pales in comparisons to it. But that's me. As far as my class tree, if you look along the anomaly, it's pretty much status quo, status quo. The wrinkle comes in for me, it is here. Using a protection skill increases weapon damage by 45% for 10 seconds. So I get both of these buffs. You get the 45% anomaly as well as the 45% weapon damage. So it helps my weapons do a little bit more during the downtime, which goes back to why I use the Mythos. I use the Mythos because the Mythos pumps out a lot of damage. On top of this buff, it does even more damage, which is real cool. Looking at my pack tree, because I'm using Impale, allows me to switch things up a little bit. I don't have to use Puncture, because I'm using Obliteration and increase the anomaly damage and resistance piercing by 6%. Each damage to enemy increase the bonus by 3% up to 9% for 3 seconds. So I'm constantly at 15%. I'm getting 15%, and 15% is higher than the 10% bonus that you're getting. I don't need to bleed. Plus, I'm on top of that, I'm getting 15% resistance piercing too. So that's tying into my unstoppable force, which increases my anomaly by 50% of the resistance piercing. If we look at my resistance piercing is at 106. When I get the buff, I'm at 115. So yeah. But that's the only wrinkle I have in my pack tree. Because then you have Earthen Shell, and Earthen Shell is gonna pretty much keep you alive. Like the amount of damage that you're doing is for keeping that shield full, because you're getting shield ticks from toxic, the bleed, the burn. So on top of the damage that you're doing, so you're pretty much staying upright. Then you have upheaval, and you have multi-strike. I'm not too far on my ascension tree, but how I started on my ascension tree, I went cooldown, I went resistance pierce, anomaly power, and I went armor pierce, and I'm working on damage against elites. But like I said, this build totally wrecks in the trials. It wrecks everything in the trials. The only thing which I think is stupid, that the earthquake has an advantage on, with the flying bird enemy, which most people don't even fight that thing. On the flying bird enemy, earthquake can hit it, which makes no sense because I have a spike coming out of the ground into the air. But whatever. But in Impale can't hit that. That's the only enemy Impale cannot hit. But as far as anything else, Impale is wrecking. Even the last boss. So yeah, that's my hot rock video. This your boy Jamelio with Sinister 7 Gaming. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, definitely consider subscribing. We're gonna have more Outrider content coming, more Devastator content coming. I have another build that's in the pipeline. I should have that out by Tuesday. But until then, see you in the next one. Peace.